has been told that GPs in parts of South East Wales have been asked to stop writing letters in support of their patients' appeals against changes to their benefits. Disability Wales has described the decision as almost callous, but the Bro Tarf Local Medical Committee, which represents GPs in 4 local authority areas, says writing the letters stops doctors seeing people who are ill and is an abuse of medical resources. Stephen Fairclough reports.
GPs are increasingly being asked by their patients to write in support of their case when they appeal decisions about changes to their benefits based on health grounds. But they're not contractually obliged to do it, and many are concerned it takes up too much of their time when they could be treating patients. Now the body, which represents GPs in Rhondda Cynon Taf, Merthyr Tydfil, Cardiff and the Vale of Glamorgan, has instructed all of its GPs to stop writing letters to create a consistent approach. Disability Wales says it is shocked by the decision, which it says will have a huge impact on a large number of people.
Minutes past 6 o'clock. And this programme has learned that an organisation which represents GPs in parts of South East Wales has asked its members not to write letters in support of patients who are making a benefits appeal. The Bro Tarf Local Medical Committee says that doctors should take a consistent approach and refuse to do the work, which it says GPs are not paid for and are not contracted to do. Disability Wales has described their decision as almost callous. Well, Stephen Fairclough has been investigating for us. How's all this come about, Stephen?
Well, Peter, the benefits system has been going through significant change over recent months as the UK government has been trying to bring down the benefits bill, and people who say that they can't work because of ill health are assessed by an organisation called Atos, and GPs are obliged through their contracts to provide a certain amount of information about their patient's health as part of that process. If Atos says the patient is not entitled to benefits, that patient can appeal against the decision at a tribunal. They're encouraged to bring any supporting evidence they can as part of that appeals process.
And that's where the letter from the GP comes in then?
Yes, a lot of people believe that in that situation where their benefits have been turned down, they believe that a letter from their GP supporting their case would help them. In fact, the official advice leaflet for people who are preparing for a tribunal, in that leaflet it mentions that people might want to take a letter from their GP, and Citizens Advice have also been advising people to get one. But Bro Tarf Local Medical Committee, which represents GPs in Cardiff, the Vale of Glamorgan, Rhondda Cynon Taf and Merthyr Tydfil, has written to its members saying that they shouldn't be writing these letters as part of the appeals process. It's because they say they're not contracted to do so, and writing the letters significantly increases their workload, and it's taking them away from dealing with people who have an illness. Now, some doctors have been writing them, but they have now been asked to stop. Fiona Howells lives in Ferndale in Rhondda. She says an injury to her wrist means she can't work. An Atos assessment said she was able to, and she's appealing that decision. And she asked her GP for a letter to explain her medical situation. Initially, she agreed at a cost of £20, but then changed her mind after receiving the letter from Bro Tarf Local Medical Committee.
I think it's absolutely shocking. You're paying for it anyway. It's not as if the couple of minutes it takes them to scribble a letter, it's not as if, you're asking them to do it for nothing. You are paying for the service. But for your doctor to be put in a position where they're unable to support you is bad enough, but for that recommendation to be made by other doctors is just absolutely shocking. And they're obviously not considering patients or the impact that this is going to have on people.
What sort of impact do you think it'll have on you?
Well, it makes you ill, to be honest. It makes you really, really stressed, and as I say, when you get like that, you're not well then either. But it just leaves you in despair, to be honest.
No one from the surgery has been available to talk to us about what happened to Fiona Howells.
Now, is this something that GPs across Wales are doing, Steve?
No, it's not, but it's not specific to South Wales either. The local medical committee conference has passed a number of motions about the situation and informing GPs that they don't have to write these letters, but the local medical committee in North Wales, for example, doesn't instruct GPs that they shouldn't write the letters in these circumstances. And Disability Wales has condemned this instruction from their Bro Tarf Local Medical Committee. The chief executive, Rhiannon Davies, has told us she's absolutely shocked by it.